teach you guys some things about how you can land softly, improve your run form, and make a huge difference in your running. My name is Steve Gonzer, physical therapist with Run Smart. We're getting ready to launch the Midfoot Project next month, so I'm going live all month to talk about these changes that you can make in your own running. And I'm super excited because I'm doing the 4x4x48 challenge tonight, which is 4 miles every 4 hours for 2 days. So I'm excited about that. But one of the things I want to talk about is how do you land softer, because run form matters and how you run matters. So if you can make some small changes, I guarantee you can not only feel a little bit better out on the roads, but you can get faster, you can prevent injury. And running is very technique driven. A lot of people don't realize that. They think that running is just putting one foot in front of the other, but there's a lot of technique to it. And that's what I'm going to cover here. And I'm actually going to show you myself running from a little while ago on the treadmill that I think can help you visualize what you want to do. Now, real quick before I show you this, if you want help with your run form, you want to join our run form boot camp. It's called the Midfoot Project. I put a link in this post. It starts in early April. It runs for 5 weeks. And we've been doing it for a couple of years with awesome results. So if you want some help with any of this stuff, just go ahead and join or take a look at the link in this post. All right, so I'm going to jump down. I want to show you the runner I showed yesterday, talk about what most runners do and some big form flaws, and I'm going to show you a video of myself. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So this is typical run form for most people. So we're just going to watch him come through. I'm just going to click through here for you. And then I'm going to pause him right here. So this is traditionally, get myself a little smaller and out of the way. This is traditionally what most people do, is they do this big old thing with their, I'm trying to use my thumb. I probably can just use my mouse on this thing. They do this big old thing with their heel strike. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in here some drawings for you all to visualize. And just know that the closer you get to 180 on this scale, this is 176 degrees, the more you're getting pretty much like bone on bone contact. We call this closed pack position. And the easiest way to think about this is in your own running is if, real quick, you just stand up and you just do a little small jump and land on your heels with straight knees. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable. Some of you might not even want to do it. But that locking of the joints kills not only your forward momentum for speed, but also decreases your chance for shock absorbing. And shock absorption is super important in running. We all think about cushion in our shoes and all these different things, but when you lock those joints out, you pull the toes up, you lock the knee, the shock absorption's gone. So not only does it slow you down like I talked about yesterday, but it also increases your risk for injury. So what I want to do is I want to show you what should this look like, and it's my own run form because I just filmed it and just put it up here because it's the easiest thing to do, then dig through the thousands of runners. So let's look at myself running. Let's go and put this back to normal size, which is not happening. I'm just going to bring this down. Okay, so as I come through, you're going to see my legs swing through, and then really the crucial step, or the thing that makes the biggest difference in run form, is that you're going to see here that, let's see if I can move this in the right spot. My knee is pretty much going to stop moving, and you're going to see my foot swing through. And I get to this point, and my leg never gets that terminal, what we call terminal extension, or never goes fully straight out to the front. So as that leg swings through, it gets to a certain point, it stops, and that's what you're seeing here. It's going to swing through, stop, and wait. And then what's going to happen next is the sweet spot that you guys should all be looking to try to do, which is let yourself come to the ground. So think about this for a second. We had the previous runner I just showed you. When they were landing, they had not only this big force driving them backwards, but they had that straight knee, which decreases their shock absorption. When I land this way, and you teach yourself to land this way, what you're going to do is you're going to, instead of taking all that load through your knees and your ankles and your hips and your joints, you're going to turn on your shock absorbers, because a bent knee allows you to land and go right into shock absorption. So this is really important, because now you're not shock absorbing on the bones, you're actually shock absorbing through your muscles and through your tendons and your elastic tissues, which are the rubber bands of your body that give you that nice spring in your step. So if we go back and take a look, you'll notice that my knee is bent. I'm actually coming down a little bit on my heel, and I talk about this quite a bit, is that we don't really care if your heel striking a little bit. It's not about that foot position. It's all about, let me actually draw, I'll draw this like here and this coming down. The last runner was 176 degrees. I'm fluctuating right around 160. And that is precisely what we shoot for in our runners. So when we do the Midfoot Project, what we do is we teach how do you get that leg to stop swinging, because the worst thing you could do is to come down, which we see a lot of people do when they try to fix their form themselves. They land up on their toes, which irritates big toe joints. It irritates the calves and Achilles, the plantar fascia. And when you land too far forward, you get the shock absorption, but you overload it into the foot and ankle. So it's really critical when you learn to get away from that straight knee, that toe up position, that you land really soft. So if you're a runner who struggles with, joint health, you're struggling with injuries, or you just want to prevent it, this is a great way to do that. You have to learn how to do it properly, because you're not decreasing gravity in the force of hitting the ground. All you're doing is redistributing it. So instead of the bones taking it, you're going to take some of that load, put it over onto the muscles. The muscles have to be ready for it. So make sure if you're going to do this, A, you don't overdo it too soon. B, you're not landing on your toes. And C, you build up the strength around the areas so that you can catch yourself right on these quote unquote elastic tissues. So really important. Stop the swing of that leg. I'll show you me. This is normal speed running, and you'll see like a nice pop in the stride. I'll shut my camera off here so you guys can see it. But you're going to see a nice pop in the stride as I come through. We'll slow this down a little bit. And here's 1/8 of the speed. You're going to see that leg never fully straightens out. And I come down on a nice flat midfoot. And that is the key for the first step, pun intended, for improving your run form, is learning how to do that. Now check out the link in the post. Midfoot Project starts in April, 5 weeks long. We only run it once a year. If you want help with your run form, you want to be more efficient, you want to look the part in your race photos and look really good and feel really good, check out the Midfoot Project, link in the post, and try it out. Bye guys.